Yo, guys, welcome back to the third episode of Black Swan System. My name is Ans. I'm here with my co host, Max. In this episode, we're going to discuss why pre selection is the ultimate status trigger and how you can make female friends, why they are important, and from evolutionary perspective, why this is important and how it is going to transform your abundance when it comes to dating life and your social life in general. This is also my best favorite way to meet girls, which is if I meet a girl from another girl. If she introduces me, then all of the bitch shield and everything, it just gets removed. So you just can't be yourself. You just have to be a bit more funny. And like, you already have attraction from pre-selection. If you go to Mac's Instagram profile, you will see he lived like a Dan Bilzerian in Munich. So totally do that. And in this episode, we're going to break down how to do that, why this is important, how this is exactly going to help you out.
What a beautiful intro as always. So, guys, grab some coffee, some water, sparkling water, of course, and then listen to this huge amount of value that we're going to deliver right here, right now.
Awesome, man. Max, tell me, why pre-selection is important in a social setting. What does it even mean?
First and foremost, we have to define what pre selection actually is. So, we as guys, we want to be pre selected by other women. So, other women find us more attractive. There was a famous study being done where they just put an average guy and then they asked women to rate that guy. And all the women said, yeah, he's fine, but. So he was just getting very average ratings in terms of looks, whatnot, associations, blah, blah, blah. But when they put two beautiful girls, one on the left, one on the right, and then they asked other girls to judge him, then all his stats were blown up. So this is just the way we perceive and the
Why do
way
you think that happened? Why do you think girls started rating the guy higher?
yeah, because when girls see other girls, especially when they're beautiful, they associate things. Because, of course, a girl, she only wants to hang out with guys who are high value, guys who they find attractive, or guys who
Yeah.
can provide for them. And when they see another guy who is average being surrounded by two girls, they directly think, hey, this guy must have something going on in his life, in his career, in his whatever, that these girls do hang around with him.
Because as men, what do we want in a girl? So I mean, our most, of course, when it comes to short term is different, long term is different, right? But the number one trait we look for in a girl is her genetics, is her looks, right? Because men, we get triggered by our visuals. That's why men watch porn, and the women, they like to judge guys on like on a basis of like a very wide criteria, right? On like they have a lot to risk, right? For example, we need a few seconds to be able to do our part in creating life, and they need 9 months. So, women have to be very, very picky when it comes to choosing the right man. So she has to do a lot of homework. But let's say if she sees other girl who are also like attractive, if they have already chosen a man, like I mean, if you're hanging out, you don't know which girl is kind of dating you or which girl is not dating you. So she has to be kind of mysterious, right? So, but she's thinking, okay, if those girl trust this guy, I can trust him as well. Because like she is saving a lot of energy on deciding if a guy is a good fit or not. So that's why it also is a good way for a girl to decide. Because I mean, a girl only react to a guy positively who has something going on, as you said, in his life. So it saves a lot of time on girls' end, a lot of energy because she sees other girls who are attractive, trust the guy. So it automatically see, okay, they trust the guy, so I should do the same.
Yeah. And the concept of pre selection applies to every other aspect of life as well, right? Because I know there are a lot of people who say, no, women don't function that way. We're pretty similar to men. We look at this and that. But this all happens subconsciously. Another example. So if you see a guy with a Rolex, what do you think about this guy? Okay, this guy must have money. He must have something going on in his life.
Good
It's
things are
either
happening.
business, good things are happening with him, or a guy who drives a Lamborghini, right? He must have money. You associate instantly things with him. And we, as a human species, we are superficial. We judge humans based on how they look.
Let's say you are driving down the lane. You're driving, right? And you see a ice cream shop where 25 people are staying in the line for the ice cream shop.
Yeah.
No matter what you think about this ice cream, you're going to
Yeah.
think, okay, 25 people trust this ice cream.
Yeah.
It has to be good. Another word for pre-selection is like social proof. If you see a guy who's like everyone is good to him, as a natural process, you tend to be good to that guy as well. Same thing with like someone who is famous, right? So a lot of people react to that guy in a way. So you also align yourself in that way as well.
Yeah.
And like if the girl sees, okay, every girl loves this guy. Either he's gay or he's so charismatic, right? So I mean, if you struggle with that, so just become gay for a second. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. It only has a negative
But
downside.
the funny thing is, when a guy is surrounded by a lot of women, right? Then we say, hey, pre-selection, other girls will find that guy attractive. But what if a woman is surrounded by tons of guys?
I mean,
To the
she's in
same
a business
rules,
networking event.
to the same rules apply then
She
as
works
well.
in IT. She's an engineer.
She's looking for a man in finance.
Like usually girls don't hang out in those. Like it's usually she's dating one of those guys and like she took her out. I don't see that happening a lot. Like a single girl hanging out with like single dudes. I don't see that happening too much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Also, like it's a very weird thing to do.
It is weird, but why is it weird though? So
I mean, why is she there? It depends. Like if she's into MMA, if she's into boxing, it makes sense. Women tend to do things more where there's like people involved, more social kind of jobs, and men do things which involves like sometimes not dealing with people directly, like
yeah,
building things.
yeah,
Like as an engineer, you are sitting behind your computer. You
yeah.
know, you don't even have to talk to people. You're just building things, solving things. So this is why it's not very common to have. I mean, if you're a doctor, you're drowned in pussy, as they say. But it all depends. Okay, Max. So we talk a lot about female friends. Like, who are these female friends, and like, what if you're getting friend zoned, or how's it different than getting in a friend zone?
That's a very good question. So a lot of people say, and I was one of them, that a friendship between a woman and a man is not possible. I believe a friendship between a man and a woman is only possible if neither of the side wants to have a sexual relationship with the other person, right? So if you as a man friend zone a girl because she's not really your type, but you enjoy her energy, then it's completely fine. And if she's fine with that, then cool. You have a good friend and she can actually support you with other girls. She can make you look good. She can talk you up. She can help you get to know other girls. She can introduce you to her friends. But if you as a man just enter a friendship with a woman just because you think, hey, if I get into a friendship with her and then at some point I can somehow get into her panties and then bang her, that's barely going to work. So in that case, no, this is not a friendship. This is just you trying to take something and manipulate.
Okay, and why? What are the benefits of having female friends? How? I mean, does it help in your
Yeah.
communication? Does it help
Yeah.
you to become better at
Yeah.
talking for your fashion?
Yeah.
Does it help?
I already mentioned that girls can introduce you to her other girlfriends, and when you have a beautiful girl that's your female friend, beautiful girls tend to have other beautiful girls as their friends. And it's not just one or two, there are multiple of them. And if they bring them to some event, they can introduce them to you. So, and all of a sudden, you have a big social circle of beautiful looking girls. And that's the point where you can then later decide which one to pick if you have a good connection with one of those girls. Another very subtle thing to utilize that female friend, for example, brings other female friends to a social gathering. For example, you go to an event or a club and they bring their friends, you look more good than before. So let's say, and I remember that one night when we were at the club and we were just sitting on the couch and all of a sudden we were surrounded by like 20 girls and everyone was looking at us and thinking like, what the fuck is that?
What sorcery? What magic is this? Yeah. That was insane.
This makes you look better, so people will see that. People, I don't know if you ever noticed that, but when you go into the club, half of the people are dancing, but half of the people are always doing this one here, pretending that they are dancing, but
Looking for
still
value. They don't have any
looking for
value.
value, looking for where is the party going on. And these people notice that the most. So they notice that, and the people who just dance, even the girl who's the craziest dancer, even she notices that the most. And all the people will see you being surrounded by girls and think, hey, who the fuck is this guy? And this brings you on their watch.
I remember one time, I did not notice this by the way. This was last winter. We went to this vegan restaurant, Max was telling me, I was not
I
noticing,
remember.
right? So we were eating dinner, and it's like me and Max and like 9 other girls. So all of them look attractive. We were having fun, and then I did not look around, right? I was just having focusing on the conversation itself, and Max was like, "Bro, everyone was like looking at us like fucking jealous eyes, like what the
Yeah.
fuck, what is happening, and like who are
Yeah.
these guys?" Because the thing is, we don't act gay, right?
No.
So it's either guys who are gay, and then they get even more puzzled. These guys are not gay. Like,
No.
what are they doing?
No.
And the crazy thing is, guys think they have to pay money to these girls. We don't even do that.
No.
So there's even more mind bending, right? And of course, like we try to create situations where there are always way more girls than guys. So it's like the competition is reversed because like girls want attention from guys. Well, this is how they thrive, I guess. It's why they do
Yeah.
makeup. This is why they post booty pictures so they can get some
Yeah.
attention. If they don't get any, then things starts happening in their head.
Can recall that night very, very good. So I remember you couldn't see the most of the people because your back was facing all the other tables.
Windows also.
Yeah, yeah. And my back was facing the windows. And I had a good overview of all the people who were watching on us. And I remember there was one table with only like mid 30 women who looked attractive, maybe just all single moms. I don't know. And they
Shout out to single moms.
I think there were like 3 or 4 of them on that table, and they were all looking at our table. And one of those women was doing this gesture with the hand to our table, like, "Look at them! Look! What is this? Look! Hey!"
This is weird. Like, what is there a process? Like, how can you make female friends? Is it like different than making guy friends, or what is the process?
Most important thing in making female friends is you have to treat them like everyone else. If you start to treat a woman like she's an angel,
Can I also punch her?
I mean, there are some girls that you can, in a very friendly way, punch. Like we guys,
I'm
we
kidding,
like,
of course.
we like to
I don't hit on
wrestle.
women. Don't worry. I'm not a woman beater. Don't know. I don't do that.
But treat her like everyone else. Treat her like you would treat your buddies. Yeah. Just don't put her on a pedestal. Don't just always give her compliments because she's so beautiful and she's so special. And don't talk in this manner like you want to get something out of her. Hey, you're so beautiful. Hey, can we meet? Hey, hey, hey. You don't talk with your guy friends like that. You to your guy friends, you say, "Hey, bro, come the fuck over here." And with girls, I'm not saying you should say the exact same words, but your mentality should be the same.
If you tell a girl who is attractive, that's not special to her.
No,
And
that's
especially if you tell a Ukrainian girl, a girl like who is from Eastern Europe, she's like, "Oh, you look hot." She's like, "And?
not. Yeah.
And?
What else?
What else?"
Tell me
She's like,
something new.
she is born that way, right? She did not earn that. For example, if a guy comes up to me, "Hey, Ans, you have a nice beard," I'm like, "Thank you, dude." So I mean, it's a good thing, but like
Yeah.
I hear that so often, right? Same thing with like, "Hey, Max, you are built like a tank," but you hear that so often, you're like, "Well, cool,"
I still love that when people.
because like you get the
Yeah.
difference is like you put in work for that,
Yeah.
right? You put in work for that. So I mean, a girl was born that way. She had like blue eyes, like she had blonde hair, and she was born that way. She did not do anything on her end. But like I mean, in your case, you like went to the gym, right? So it's like the effort that you put into gym, right?
No.
For example, you can compliment on her energy. You can compliment on her something she achieved, because then people are more likely to receive that appreciation. Compliment on something that they had to do work for.
No.
Let's say if you ask a girl, "Hey, what do you do?" She's like, "Model." Or you're like, "Oh my God, I've never met a model before. You are so awesome. You're so hot."
Yeah.
I mean, she's gonna think, okay, this dude never hangs out with models before.
Yeah.
But being a model is like, we know lots of these girls are like fucking like jobless. Like they barely
Yeah.
make any money, right?
Yeah.
So it's like just a cool title that they have.
Yeah, and this leads to a very good point that you mentioned. If, for example, you meet a fashion model and she's used to be appreciated and admired because of her beauty, and people tell her that all the time, "Hey, can I get a picture of you? You look so beautiful." And when you, as a guy, show the same behavior, she has no reason to have you as a friend, because if you do that, she instantly sees that you want to take something from her. And a friendship is based on mutual value. So if you treat her the same like everyone else, she will see this breaking rapport. Hey, this guy treats me like his best buddies, but I'm obviously hot. there must be something going on. And if she, in addition, sees that you're maybe surrounded by other beautiful girls and you maybe invite her to other very cool things that you do and there are other girls involved, then she will feel more inclined to join those things because it's mutual.
I mean, like if she perceives like you don't like have that standard, then she's going to treat you differently. So that's why we in this Black Swan system and like how the we live life is like we're always looking for ways to have more abundance, high quality abundance, not just any abundance, right? And like it's like a masculine thing to live a active lifestyle, right? It's not something that happens out of thin air. You have to do some planning. You need to be talking to the promoters, the club organizers to plan everything, right? That's why it requires some work, but it's like a small thing. It's like a few text messages away. Hey, you send to a guy, hey, uh, event organizer, we would like to come up. Can you help us set the table so we can bring our female friends? We'll
Yeah.
do content for you, that kind of thing, right? So, I mean, like, how much time would you need to go, like, meet 12 girls in 1 week? So much time, right? And if you do that, you can meet multiple of those, and then good things can happen from just
Yes.
there. So this is also like a way you can save a lot of time, especially if you are a busy professional or you have a business to run.
No.
Because like you're meeting high quality people, but in a higher volume as well.
Yeah.
Because on dating apps and cold approach, that does not happen.
Yeah.
This is why we like it. It's more efficient. You do some work upfront, fixing your Instagram, network with the people, but then you leverage everything. You save a lot of time. The quality is much better. There's also volume. And when a girl comes to your thing, she is in your frame already. Talk about frame control.
Yeah.
So this is like a massive thing.
And what I used to do in the past, especially when I was very in my pickup frame and approach a lot of girls, I declined all those possible friendships with beautiful girls. And this was in some cases a huge mistake because you never know what can happen with those female friends. If one girl you want to date and for some reason she tells you no and you're fine with that, don't be like, hey, I never want to meet you again. Use that opportunity to either use her to bring to your events and make her bring other girls or try to get to her social gatherings and try to meet other girls.
Interesting that you mentioned that, right? So what is the transition that happens to like friends and then like eventually
Clapping the cheeks.
right? So the way I see it,
Yeah.
right? Of course, I would not use the word date, right? It's like just in a sales call, right? If you want a guy to come to your sales call, you will never say, "Hey, come to this sales call. I will try
Yeah.
to sell you."
It's a consultation
Right?
call.
It's called. I will show you how you can do the same.
Yeah.
For example, like when I try to talk to guys, I like, "Hey, man, I would love to show you how you can do the same. What kind of results our clients are getting, so you can do the same." Right?
Yeah.
So it's like what you are getting, not what I'm getting. I
Yeah.
want money from you, right?
Yeah.
So like as a guy, you want like you want to
Yeah.
have sex with that girl, being
Yeah.
intimate with her, right?
Yeah.
So never frame anything a date from now on. Of course, like if you're using dating apps, that's a different thing. The way I see it is like how much compliance you have. If you have more value is like how much she sees like she's attracted to you. Like pre-selection is a status trigger. You wearing cool watches is a status trigger. You being more confident is an attraction trigger. So the more attraction triggers you have, the more values you have, and like more you can get more compliance. Compliance is you tell her to do something, and then she follows you. Let's say, hey, let's go there, and then she comes with you, right? So you test for compliance. Let's say you're at a club or you're at a party, and then you tell her, hey, after this, let's get some food.
Yeah.
So you test like a compliance thing, right? Or even like in a smaller way. You are at a dance floor. Hey, let's get some fresh air. Go outside, right? So she comes outside with you. Okay, she's comfortable with me being alone. Cool. So you have enough value, right?
Yeah.
From there, you can say, "Yo, let's get some food afterwards. I feel hungry. Would you like to join me?" And she joins you, right? Nowhere in the interaction, you're meeting a Skona date, right? And then from there, you can like take her to your place. Good things might happen. So this is like from a club environment, right? Let's say, for example, what I used to do is like, for example, see what commonalities you have, what kind of food she likes. This is like you go to museum, that kind of thing, and you can like uh, future project. This is a technique called future projections and then time bridging, right? Let's say you find out she likes to go to museums, art galleries, or like some fashion shows, to the gym, and you can talk about, hey, we should do X sometime. We should go to a museum sometime.
Yeah.
She's gonna say, okay, yeah, yes or no, right? So depending on what she is more resonant with, right? Depending, like you have to have value first. You have value, and then you future project,
Yeah.
and then if she resonates, okay, I love to do like eat tiramisu. Okay, cool. Like I know very cool place in my city. They serve the best tiramisu ever. You're going to love it. Or you can do the other way around. What is the best tiramisu place that you know? She's gonna be like, well, X place. Cool. What do you like about it?
Yeah.
You kind of like selling her on the like why does she like? Okay, cool. How often do you go there? Oh, I go there every once a month. Cool. What was the last time you went there? Cool. When are you gonna go there next? We should go there together. Cool. And now
Yeah.
you're kind of progressing like a soft close, right? So also you can move things from being friends to a much, I would say, like hanging out frame. So I would not still call it dating, but you're kind of hanging out. Now you're on a date, and then you can lead it from there. So it's not like it changes all of a sudden. It's like a transition, like a soft thing, right? And
Yeah.
like she can move out whenever she wants, and then you would not feel like that you got rejected. If you say, "Hey, I want to go out on a date with you," I would never say that when
Yeah.
you are in these social environments. So it's a smooth transition,
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
from being friends to dating, like going on a date or hanging out, and then like
Yeah.
being intimate. This
Yeah.
is how I
Sure.
see it happening.
I mean, I hate to say it, but girls are not stupid, right?
Sure, I mean, but as a man, you have to protect your might get rejected. So like, why
Exactly.
you should always avoid
Yeah.
rejections.
I used to approach girls on the street. Why should a guy approach a girl on the street? Because he clearly wants to date her. He approaches her because she's beautiful. The context is set there. Or when a guy randomly approaches a girl in the club, the context is set her. He does that because she's beautiful and he wants to see her again. So, I mean, what could it be else? Same thing for Tinder. So you meet girls through Tinder and it's a date because the context is given through Tinder. In social circle, it's different. And this is what I had to get used to too. The social circle environment is, hey, we are social together. And then you have to see and not be socially awkward how you can transition that very clearly to a date without calling it a date. And Ans already described a very good process here, how you can transition from having a female friend to a date without calling it a date. And you shouldn't do it. And all the girls I dated from our social interactions, I never said to them, hey, let's go on a date together. And this puts
Du-du-du-du.
pressure. This puts pressure on
Yeah.
her. And this is unnecessary because if you pre-qualify a girl beforehand, if she shows you compliance, if she laughs at your stupid jokes, she asks you questions, she wants to hang around you, she likes to spend time with you, it is already a sign that she likes to be around you, and you will feel, of course, the energy. If she flirts with you, if there's this man to woman energy, and then all it takes, and this is what I used to do, is to say something like, hey, wanna catch up next week for some drinks? Of course, you have to say it in a very flirty way and, of course, in the right moment. So that's one thing where pickup helped me a lot to have that social calibration, but it's quite easy to see because we humans, we feel those butterflies in the stomach. And when the right moment comes, then you can ask her very simply to just grab drinks. And then everyone knows it's like a date, but nobody wants to call it a date.
Just hanging out,
Just hanging out.
just hanging around. Me just hanging around. Yeah, also, like for the guys who are, let's say, I mean, for me, let's say, cold approach was working, but was very inefficient, right? I was, good things happen. I don't have anything against cold approach. It's like, no, it's winter, but I'm like, what do I do? Like, should I like hit the streets? Like, in 1 hour, I might talk to three girls who are attractive. It's like very timely. It's very inefficient. I don't hate cold approach, right? It's a good skill to have because
Yeah.
like it's like uh, like if you're good at it,
Yeah.
it's like you're something, you're playing with the matrix.
Yeah.
Like other guys that are on swiping on dating apps and like, but you are here, like taking the risk. Nothing against cold approach. It's just like not very time efficient.
Yeah.
You don't. Maybe you talk to like 20 girls and then go on a date with one,
Yeah.
or like even 10. It's like, but how long do you need to talk to 20 attractive girls?
Yes.
Right? And then it's like a lot of time. And in the same time, if you put, even like half an hour per week, and then you go out to a main event, you can have 20 girls come to that event. And like, even like if you connect with like two or three of them, it's like very timely efficient. And then you can plan dates for the next week or even make things happen the same evening.
Yeah.
I think this is like a, from timely manner, social circle is still the main thing.
Yeah.
And on dating apps, for example, dating apps never worked for me. When they worked for me, I I started taking more risk, like pushing the boundary in terms of sexualization. Now I'm banned on Match.com apps. If you're listening to this, Tinder, Bumble, please unban me. I would like to use your services, right? So they don't work for me. I get below average matches, even though I would say I have a killer profile. It just never works for me,
Yeah.
right? The reason why I say killer profile because when I tried recently my profile on Hinge, I was getting 300 matches in like 3 weeks, which was insane for me. I'm like, okay, this is normally how it should happen, but they never work for me. Even when I pay everything, do
Yeah.
the boost thing, right? And I'm also now banned on Hinge. So I guess the only way for me, I'm kind of biased as well, is social circle. Because I mean, a guy, let's say, who was vertically challenged. We have a client. He is 158 centimeters, like 5'2" or something, 5'1", and he is making it work, man. Like he's dating very attractive girls
Yeah.
and a guy who is a bit older. So this works for everyone
Yeah.
because it's like a social concept. The guys who are incredible at dating, the ones who never need a dating coach, it's because they met girls at the right place at the right time.
Yes. Yeah, that's
It's the
right.
same concept.
I mean, I still do a cold approach here and there when I see the opportunity, but I remember those days where I was walking for hours through the inner city here in Munich, Germany, and Munich is the second or third biggest city here in Germany. So there are a lot of people in the inner city, and still, if you walk around, even in summer, cities full of people, it takes some time to see attractive girls. And these girls, they shouldn't be around any boyfriend, so they should be on their own. And then you should be at the right time, at the right place to talk to them. And then you spend hours in the inner city. And then not every of those girls will reply you in the end because, hey, they all have Instagram and all it takes is just one message from either me or Ans who invite them to some cool events. And all of a sudden they're, yeah, together with our other female friends at the club.
I tested it as well, right? So I have a very killer ass profile on
Yeah.
Instagram, right? I should be able to. So I mean, I have gone on girls like dates with girls. I've dated girls just purely based on call DMing them, not doing anything else, right? But I've testing this, so I like tested it even like with profile like mine or yours, right? It still is not effective as inviting them to some shit,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
I did some split testing. I texted like 25 girls, and like just like I would say handful of them who are replying to me positively, getting men to women directly in call DMs, right? I would say there could be a way, but like, it becomes like a volume game. So when I invited them to a cool ass event, they started chasing me now. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck just happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is not like long ago because I'm like, okay, I'm always testing where I'm at, right? So I'm thinking, okay, who call DMs them? So when I call DM a girl randomly, ask her out, then I'm kind of competing with all the athletes, all the celebrities, right, who are asking her out as well because they just want to bang her, right? But if you offer her something, if you provide value, invite her to something cool as an experience. So this works for a guy who is, let's say, not as famous or not super attractive, not celebrity. If Drake, I would say, sends a text to 100 girls, I'm sure like a lot of them would like say yes, right? I don't know any girl like, right? So very high chance, right? So if a
Yeah.
guy who's not famous, not attractive, just inviting a girl to something cool that she wants to be part of is very, very effective. You can ask a girl out a couple times, like 2 times, and then you're like, okay, fuck, I don't want to be rejected. Now she's gone, like you cannot text her anymore. But how often, Max, have you invited the same girl over and over again for some event?
Yeah, so this is the very beautiful thing with events. You can always invite a girl to events, and events. And even if she doesn't reply to you, you can still send out those invites. Because the funny thing is, and I heard it from other guys who are very good at this and from other girls as well, that, for example, to sum it all up, girls show those messages to their female friends. They, of course, they talk with each other. Hey, there's this guy, he does this. There's this another guy from Dubai inviting me to his private mansion. There's this guy, and there's this guy who keeps inviting me, Max, to his events or Ans. And then they show those chat messages to their friends. And when they scroll through that, they see, hey, it's cool things that he invites you. Why don't you go there? So there's nothing that they can base on to shit talk you because you're a cool guy doing cool things. You keep inviting her, but she's not necessary for that event. So you still do that cool thing with or without her, and your stories look cool.
You can never get rejected from a thing that you
No.
offered. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
take this I mean, max if I say take 100 euros,
Yeah.
and if you don't take it, like, would I fucking care?
No.
It's the same thing. I
Yeah.
would not care. It's like giving free
Yeah.
money, right? That's why I love the way we deal things.
Yeah.
Also because I'm banned on shadow banned on like all the apps now, so I'm kind of biased. But I guess I never had success like so effectively
Yeah.
in terms of socializing. This is how we met as well because we did some events together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's quite effective, man.
So what happened to me, I remember multiple cases where I was inviting girls like influencers, models, hot-looking girls, multiple times to events, and they never replied to me. And then all of a sudden, you send another invite just because she's on your list, and then all of a sudden she replies, she comes to your event, and she hangs around you because this all builds up. They, of course, need trust, right? You send out one invite, they watch your stories, they're not convinced. You send one more invite, they watch more of your stories, and then at some point they will think, maybe this guy is more cooler than I thought he would be.
Women judge guys because they have a lot to lose in terms of investing in a potential partner. Because men, we invest for a few seconds to be able to help procreate. Women need so much longer. So that's why they're so picky. And to overcome that, if you just have a couple of girls reacting to you positively, that's why it's important. We never pay, this is also very important. A lot of guys think that we hired these models. Like we have probably taken photos with like hundreds of models at this point, and never ever we paid a girl once, or did we?
No, never.
You could buy a table on your own. You could buy a table on your own, like be surrounded by 20 girls. But if they're not reacting to you positively, it's not helping. Because I see sometimes in the clubs, there are tables where are guys surrounded with some girls, but they're always on the phone. They're not
No.
excited to be there,
No.
right? Compared to our shit, everyone is so happy. They're happy to
No.
be there. They're
No.
active. I'm like, okay, man, this is such a magical thing. A girl that you might be interested in sees it, and then chances of good things happening are much, much higher.
Because she filters you out, right? Because a beautiful woman, especially when she has Instagram and she's active on that platform, she will be surrounded by other men. It's maybe men who message her all the time on Instagram, maybe men who approach her on the street or hit on her in the gym. There's always something going on. She will always have some options, but when you're in the club surrounded with other girls and she happens to be part of that and you allow her to be part of that, she will feel this feeling of, hey, this is more exclusive. This is not something I'm used to, because who is the guy that is surrounded by girls and not necessarily giving a fuck about me because he's already surrounded by girls and she just took me on his ride to awesomeness, and now there's this disbalance, and this of course forces her to qualify more for you if there happens to be some mutual flirty energy.
A lot of people in the city like fucking hate me and Max as well because we came out of nowhere. We were doing some cold approach, and then we realized, okay, this is the hidden way to do things, right? Of course, we had to make some changes.
If you're sick and tired of those dating apps, or if you just want to improve your social life and have just beautiful girls in your social circle and be surrounded by them, then just go to the link in the description down below, go to the page, watch the video, and apply for a quick call where we will just look at your situation, where you're at, where you want to go, and then find the best suitable solution for you so that you can develop a kick ass 10 out of 10 social circle, no matter the city you live in.